よく来ますよね、ここ。
はい、よく起きます。髪型似合ってるんですね。
あ、ありがとうございます。今どこに住んでますか？
スナベに住んでいます。出
そうなん
身どこですか？
ですね。私、山梨出身です。
いいですね。行ったことないです。
ぜひ行ってみてください。
お名前は何ですか？
てるみです。よろしくお願い
いいですね。
します。
素敵な名前ですね。
ありがとうございます。出身どこですか？
ラスベガスから来ました。アメリカのイリノイ出身です。でも、ドイツ人の血が入ってます。
そうなんですね。好きなドリンク何ですか？
マスコミュールです。はい。
うーん、モス
うん。
コミール。うん。
好きなドリンクなんですか？
モヒート。モヒートです。
ヒート。
うん。
いいですね。
お仕事何ですか？
あー仕事は工事の現場監督です。18歳の息子が一人います。
うーん。
岡さんいますか？
はい。6歳の娘が一人います。
いいですね。
Feel like learning Japanese is too damn hard for you? Stop slaving away at grammar, words, and spelling. Now there's a better way to learn how to speak Japanese like a normal guy. Welcome to Terumi's podcast. Let's learn Japanese in just 2 months with Terumi's learning method.
So first of all, welcome to my YouTube channel. Frank, how do you feel?
I feel great. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Frank. So people don't know you. So can you introduce yourself who you are?
Yes. はじめまして、フランクです。よろしくお願いします。ラスベガスから来ました。アメリカのイリノイ出身です。でも、ドイツ人の血が入ってます。18歳の息子が一人います。44歳です。仕事は工事の現場監督です。
Wow,
よろしくお願いします。
that's amazing. So Frank, can you tell me how did you end up in Japan?
Yes. Well, so I lived in Las Vegas for 19 years,
うん。
and I was just over the whole being in Las Vegas, and then I had contacted a friend of mine, and him and I we were just talking, and I kind of told him how I felt about how my situation and everything. I've been working for the military for 22 years, and I was just tired of where I was living and being where I was at. So he
Mm-hmm.
goes, "Have you ever thought of going to Okinawa, Japan?" So I looked into it, and sure enough, they had a job opening up at the same. I'm like, "Oh wow, this is awesome!" The job opened up like a month after I had the conversation with the gentleman that I was talking to. Funny thing is, he's actually on his way here and back here in 2 months. So I'm looking to reconnect with him as soon as he gets back on island. So
I see. That's amazing. So before you coming to Japan, you have never imagined that you're gonna stay in Japan, right? Because you just
oh,
even never thought about it.
not at all, not at all. I was completely I had no idea, and now I'm here. I've been here for a year and a half,
うん。
and I'm just blown away about how much better it is here than I was in Las Vegas.
Oh my God. So
Mhm.
before you coming to Japan, what do you know about Japan?
I didn't know anything about. I've been to Japan before 20 years ago when I was flying.
Okay.
I was stationed in Korea in 2001, and I actually flew through Japan on my way to Korea in 2001, and then on the way back from Korea back to the States, I flew through Japan again. This time Okinawa, and I didn't know anything about. I knew from friends that were stationed here. They just said it was just amazing. So I was like, yeah, this is going to be a really cool experience. So I decided,
Mm-hmm.
I knew there was no tips. You don't tip people. That's kind of rude
Yeah.
to tip Japanese people in restaurants and things.
Mm.
as far as I've always wanted to know about the culture of Japan, and I know Japanese people are some of the kindest individuals I've ever met. So
Thank you so much. So
yes,
like you actually, one and a half year you live in Japan. I'm
yes,
sure you didn't know anything about Japan. So like you have seen something that you could never imagine, like people maybe how they talk, or the culture, even the food and everything. It's different. So like
definitely.
when you start living in Japan, like what was actually the biggest things like you surprised, or maybe you could like really never imagine, like you've never seen, like what was that experience in the beginning?
The beginning, wow. Like I said, Las Vegas, 19 years. I had to lock my doors wherever I went, carry a gun with me wherever I went in Las Vegas,
Mm.
because the crime was so high. And then when I came here,
Oh my God, every day you have to carry the guns? Really?
because it was you just did not know, because it was legal. It was legal there. So yeah,
Yeah.
it was
Wow.
there. So we had to protect ourselves because you didn't know. People were crazy in Las Vegas. So just to be on the safe side, but I did work on base, and the base wasn't in the best neighborhood.
Mm.
So you kind of had to kind of watch around when you were going off base and things. So when I came here, in my experience, I, my friend's like, look, he goes, it's completely the opposite of Las Vegas, because him and we were in the same area,
Mm.
and and then I'm like, like even the kids are so nice to you, like they say hi, and and I was just completely surprised how kind everyone was here, and like I said, I wasn't used to that, so.
Mm.
And the food,
Wow.
like I said, the food is amazing. What I did notice though is when I went to the McDonald's for the first time,
Mm.
and the pride that the workers put into making the food look exactly like the picture. Because you go to a States, in McDonald's in the States, ugh, it doesn't look like the picture at all. It looks like garbage. So I'm like, what is this? What am I eating? So, but in the McDonald's here down the street, it was just completely amazing. I was like, wow, okay, all right, I like this place
Amazing.
already. And there's vending machines, and I noticed there's vending machines
Mm-hmm.
everywhere,
Mm. That's true.
everywhere you go.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So like
So
you live in Okinawa mainly, but it's have you ever traveled somewhere other place like in Tokyo or other places? How was the experience?
yes, since I in the year and a half I've been here, I think I've done everything on this island completely, as
Mm.
far as what the island has to offer, and also except for diving, I wanted to do diving, but
Mm.
I visited Tokyo. I've been to Shibuya. Visited a few places in Shibuya. Also Yokota Air Base.
Mm.
We went to Yokota Air Base. We also visited Nozawa Onsen.
Ozawa-san, yes.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
yep.
How was
And
it? Did you like
it,
it?
it was amazing. Nagano, we went to Nagano. We went snow skiing there. The best part of the Nozawa Onsen was probably the snow monkeys up there. And then also we took the train, and the trains they make so much sense there. Their schedules are just perfect. So, and I thought it was going to be really hard to ride the trains, but it's actually really easy to actually take
Mm-hmm.
the trains, and just don't get on the wrong train.
So
Yeah.
what was actually the reason you start feeling like you want to learn Japanese?
I mean, I seen an advertisement of Japanese Language Factory, and I was like, I should try this out, because it's going to help me with my Japanese friends that
Mm.
I've made in the past year, and everybody's speaking Japanese around me, and I'm not. And I'm like,
Mm.
I need to do something, at least hold a 10-minute long conversation,
Mm.
long enough to where like we understand each other.
Mm.
And what I noticed though, after taking Japanese Language Factory, I have I've improved a lot, and it's really helped me. Like now, I'm a supervisor for a different. I'm in a different job now in the year and a half that I've been here. I just started 2 weeks ago, and it's really helped me communicate with my coworkers, and because all my coworkers are all Japanese,
Mm.
and when they're speaking, I'm listening and I understand most of the stuff that they're saying. So it's mainly understanding the people around me.
Before studying this Japan Language Factory master course, did you try to learn something by yourself?
I was learning through my phone. I don't think I was really getting that true experience. For me, I'm kind of like a traditionalist. I feel like I have to have somebody teach me because it helps me remember things a little better. So and like I said, Japanese Language Factory has helped me out tremendously with the correcting me and in a right way, and then it taught me how to study better, like the I guess the habits and things like that that I lacked, so
So
yeah.
like so while learning with Japan Language Factory, I'm sure you learn a lot of phrases, but personally, which phrases do you like?
I like I like introducing myself. So like hajimemashite Franku desu, and people really they look at you like, oh my gosh, like that's an awesome name, and I feel like that's definitely I mean, introducing yourself and arigatou gozaimasu, just thanking people, because I noticed that they use thank you very often. You
Yeah.
walk into the store, thank you for coming in my store. Then you leave the store, thank you for, so arigatou gozaimasu is probably my favorite. So
Amazing. Yeah,
it's the
it's
first one.
very culture.
It's the first one I learned. So I remember this the when I first got here, a lady, she goes, arigatou gozaimasu. I was like, oh, this sounds awesome.
And so like Frank, you learn self-introduction. That's amazing. So like can you tell me your experience when you speak Japanese? Like how the people actually react to you or something? Did you see some changes? What was the actual differences for you?
It was a huge difference. Like before, like I said, I couldn't understand what they were saying. When I'm around people, they're having a conversation, and I'm like, I'm trying to pick up what are they talking about. And then now it's like I understand what they're saying. My new coworkers, so before I worked with all Americans, well, half American, half Japanese. It was kind of a combined, and now I find myself, okay, now I got to be around all Japanese, and then I have like an American boss, but all the Japanese locals that I work with, they all report to me. Yeah, and then they ask me questions, and I know how to respond to it. My coworkers, they were really surprised that they could actually that I was able to introduce myself the way I did, the way I did with you, and they were just like, oh, Frank-san, huh, ii desu ne. That's good. Like, yeah, give me a big thumbs up. And they understood everything that I was saying. And it's just by, the Japanese Language Factory. And I remember, because I constantly just beat it into my head. And so repeating things and listening to it in the car. I try to listen to it in the car as much as I can. So
amazing. Yeah, thank
yeah.
you so much for sharing this amazing experience. So like one last thing is a message to the people who maybe I don't know why they don't want to learn Japanese, because either they feel like oh, this is not my choice, like what you said. This is not my choice. This is just the company sent me to Japan. I'm not interested into Japanese people, or they live in Japan, but a lot of people don't learn. Either they're not interested in learning Japanese, either maybe they have a fear like, oh, maybe it's going to be too much time you have to study, it's going to be very difficult, you see Japanese characters, that's crazy, I don't want to learn, it's going to be too difficult. So that's why, what do you think? Do you have message to those people?
Yes, I would tell you, it's definitely, it's a great experience. It'll get you a lot further. So like when you're in Japan, you're in Okinawa, wherever you are, I think it takes you a lot further than what you think, especially with traveling. The things that I learned in Japanese Language Factory, and then now I'm able to kind of navigate much easier. Like when you're traveling, it's so much easier to ask questions to some of the locals, because they're there to help you, and they'll correct you, and it's okay to make mistakes. But I think just navigating life in Japan is so much easier.
Amazing. Did you have a fear to like, okay, maybe even if I start learning, maybe I won't learn anything, I can't remember anything? A lot of people have a fear, like even if I start, maybe I can't learn anything.
I did have fear. I feared like talking to women and I didn't know what to say. I'm like, I was kind of embarrassed. I'm like, what do I say? So, but then once I got over that fear, and once got introduced to Japanese Language Factory, you guys opened up like a whole, like that fear was just pretty much gone, because now it's like, okay, I'm making mistakes every day, but I'm learning from them, and the fear it's almost non-existent now. So
That's amazing.
yeah.
Great. Yeah. Then you can go everywhere. You can just, learn every time. Fear. Every day you can learn, like, because every time you go, you can learn something, right? Like always.
Yes, that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, definitely. And that's just all part of life. But like I said, it's definitely, it's an amazing experience to open yourself up to the Japanese language, because there's so much to learn. I recommend Japanese Language Factory. It's helped me out tremendously. I'm able to do a lot more things now. Now I'm wanting to learn like how to read it now. So it's like, oh, so now instead of just me translating on my phone, so now I'm like, okay, I can, I know what they're saying here. So it's helping me want to learn even more. So,
are you expat living in Japan? You started living in Japan, you're super excited to communicate with locals. You can enjoy traveling, meeting people. And now you start using this textbook and you feel like, wow, that's so many. Elementary school textbook, another elementary school textbook, and how many hours should you study? Let's think one more time. In order to communicate like a normal guy, you can do everything in the basic everyday life. Should you finish all those textbooks? Otherwise, you won't understand what they're talking. You cannot express yourself, anything. First of all, there are always two ways to learn languages. One is documentational language. The other one is conversational language. It's like, once upon a time, grandmother and grandfather are living somewhere. Or, hey, what's up? How's it going? Which is conversational. What is the most effective way to learn how to speak Japanese? Textbooks can't talk to you, so you cannot improve your listening skill and pronunciation, how to communicate. So why Japanese children can speak Japanese so quickly? Because they are learning conversational Japanese. The good news is, in Japan Language Factory, we have a specific learning structure to improve your conversational Japanese. So you can join the conversation, you can understand what they're talking, you can respond quickly, and express what you are thinking. If you want to be able to speak Japanese as soon as possible, join our free consultation to figure out what is the fastest way to start speaking Japanese.